everybody. I'm Spencer Frazer. I'm an artist, and I my work is about environmental issues today. But I've done many things in my life. I've run businesses. I've had so many different types of jobs. And the one thing I want you to know is that I've never intended to be an artist. So it's kind of an interesting story about how I got here and how the work has progressed. So I think the best way is to kind of take you through some of the work and let you experience it as I did. Okay, the first thing I want you to know is that I've had a love for Japanese gardens since I was very young, and why I started painting 15 years ago was because I wanted to express the Japanese garden, which takes generations to perfect. And it's interesting because as I was starting to paint the Japanese garden, there were these man-made elements that would come up. You can see sprinklers here in these Japanese screens. And I was starting to have this conversation with myself about, what that all meant. And I realized that that was what the work is about, is man's impact on nature and proposing the question, is man part of nature or is man against the natural process? So, the one thing, it's important as an artist, it's important as a professional to be able to, I tell my kids to fast fail. And what that means is you have to try a lot of different things. And you can see here that, I've tried a lot of different things in my painting, and they were all good. And I was exploring all these different issues. But I started to really focus on this issue: is man part of nature, is man against the natural process? And this piece, which was the background, kind of shows the Northwest environment and all the issues in a hieroglyphic way facing man and facing the world today. And I mean, you can see that there's logging and indiscriminate netting, and there is industrialization and pollution and the water rising and so many different things that I try to capture here. And then I kind of got more specific. And you can see here that, the crane is in is really symbolic of us dealing with the fossil fuel industry and the oil industry, which is really where the problem all has come from and has gotten us where we are today. And so you'll see that as a kind of a reoccurring theme. Here, the piece talks about strip mining and the mining of coal up in BC particularly. And you can see that there's the triangulation of the cranes, but there's also the triangulation in the man-made equipment. Of course, today fires are rampant all over the world, and it's a major, major topic. And the result of, again, a warming planet and a changing environment. Here, the owl is contemplating, this indiscriminate logging and the fires that are occurring all over the world. This summer was unbelievable in British Columbia. I saw that there was 750 fires at one time burning out of control. Um, the iceberg's melting, and this is called tipping point because at some point everything flips. And this is representative to me of an accelerating phenomena, that change is occurring faster and faster, and that finally it happens, very quickly. I'm going through this quickly just so you can kind of see. I mean, to look at this more carefully, go to spencerfrazer.com and you can see a lot of these works. And this is about hydroelectric power. Hydroelectric power is a blessing and a curse. because it is green, clean power, but it takes an environmental toll in creating that, which is why many dams are being considered and have been taken down to, um, you know, bring back nature into that area. Okay, let me see something else that I really like. There's so many. This is called turbulence because you can see that the boat wake is really disturbing the migratory behavior of the fish. But the sub-story here is that what we're doing isn't necessarily all being seen. This is underwater, right? We don't see it, but yet it's happening. And so a lot of that which we are doing as a species today has yet to be felt. This is a huge topic in today's world, which is about the devastation that war causes on the environment. I mean, it's not normally talked about because war is so horrific as is, but the amount of energy explosion, toxicity, loss of environment, and biodiversity is staggering. And so, this piece represents that. My new work is called Combustion, and I wanted to address um, the issue of combustion and man's relationship to energy and to fire, and really part of this is understanding that man's mastery of fire was directly related to the rise of civilization. This particular piece called Smokestack is one of my favorites because there is a beauty, a dance, a whimsy, movement, to the work, but it's anchored by this man-made cylindrical object that is the smokestack. And I realize that smokestacks are so iconic because they're a blight on rural America and they're symbolic of urban America. And why do we really need smokestacks? It's almost symbolic of the fact that what we are doing, we don't want the responsibility of the results. What is okay in our neighbor's yard is not okay in our yard. What we want to do is disperse, dispel, and cast to the wind the effects of our behavior. So you can see here all these different avenues. It's almost like looking at a faceted stone. They're all the same kind of topic, but from different viewpoints. This is wildfire. I painted this before the Palisades, LA fires, after the Lahaina fire, and the power of the match, the power of the wind, the power of the changing environment to destroy. I was just down in Los Angeles. It was unbelievable. I mean, 5,000 homes were lost alone in the Palisades. This piece is about not cigarette smoking. It's about the combustion, the habituation to energy, the unconsciousness at which we now are able to create fire and smoke. This piece is about time and the power of the match, the power of the flame, to condense this down into a millisecond. And thinking about, combustion in general, I came to learn and to think that, all civilizations, all societies, all peoples, tribes, and countries all share the same experience of, of fire, which in a way becomes a symbol of unity. This is about the aerospace industry. This is about the fact that when we put out fires, when we solve the problems, there's still going to be results of our actions. So that's kind of in a nutshell, what I've been thinking, and it's been received very, very well. I have a piece right now at the Smithsonian Museum of Natural History. It's been there, and it was the first art exhibit that they have done, and I was honored to be there. My pieces have been in museums throughout the country, including the Roger Tory Peterson Museum, which is one of the foremost naturalistic museums in the world. I've been on the Times Square billboard and lots of different things. So I'm going to continue. I'm super excited about where this work is going and about the communication and thank you for allowing me to come into your homes and to look. And I hope you enjoyed it. Check out spencerfraser.com if you want more information.